Hey guys, Dijon here from Trend Watchers, and today I got an awesome video prepared for you guys titled "Never Overstay Your Welcome," or basically like you need to always know when it's time to go. And I'm pretty excited for this video. I'm gonna share like a classic story with you guys. I love this story, so I'm pretty excited to really share it with you guys. But yeah, as you guys know, I got my paper plate with all my notes on here, and we'll get started in a second. But first things first, like make sure you hit that like and subscribe button, and just make sure you watch this video all the way through. Like this one concept right here, I apply it in like all areas of my life. I'm gonna cover towards the end like how I apply this concept towards like networking, dating, and sales to really just end up like getting the best result, and just like in all aspects of life to really enhance my relationships and just to improve the quality of life. You know, I'm going to explain all that within this video, but like I'm telling you guys, like this is one of my favorite concepts, and I'm going to show you guys just like a classic story as like how I really discovered this concept by myself by accident. So yeah, let's hop right into it. So this story took place, I think it was I think towards the beginning of 2020. It was like probably like January, February, right? So at my church, there's like this, it's called Young Single Adults, right? So like people like around like age 18 to 30, right? This one guy, kind of like one of the older guys, that was kind of helping like, running this little like, kind of like organize everything, you know, like he opened up his house and he kind of threw a party, right? And it wasn't anything crazy, just kind of like a laid back party. You know, like everyone brings food, like a little pot, a little side dish or whatever, a dessert or whatever, and then we all eat and play games till like midnight or whatever, right? Nothing crazy, you know, like no drinking, smoking, and none of that stuff right there. Like I said, it was kind of like a church activity, so there shouldn't be any of that, you know. But yeah, you know, like man, that was a crazy day. I remember it was like an hour drive for me to go to this house, right? I just felt like socializing, so I kind of went there. And on my way there, I got a flat tire. I remember switching it up. Just like yeah, a police officer came and he kind of like helped me change the tire because I was wearing my Clarks. My Clarks has like a soft sole. So as I was kind of like kicking the wrench to loosen up the bolts on my car, it kept absorbing my energy, so I wasn't really able to I guess like I had a hard time really like turning the bolts on the wheels. So yeah, that was fun. But long story short, you know, like I went through a bunch of BS that day, but I eventually made it to the party, right? So I get to the party, you know, like I have my little I think I brought some sugar cookies from Walmart or something, right? You know, just to kind of like fit in, you know. I don't feel guilty as I'm eating the food and like everyone else's food. So we get there, we eat, and everyone's kind of sitting like around you know, you got like some people in the dining room, some people like in the living room, right? Just kind of with their plates, talking, whatever, right? I went to the dining room because there was actually this one girl. Her name was Mackenzie. She was fine. Like I liked her. Just like we, you know, like, we clicked. The chemistry was there. So I kind of sat at the dining room table just to kind of like get a bit closer to her, right? So, you know, everyone eats, and the people that were in the living room, they kind of went down to the basement, right? And they were doing their own little thing. But the people that were around the dining room table, right? So we were all like talking, and I forgot what happened. Oh yeah, that's right. So the girl's she was like trying to like, she was sparking. So I was like all the way across the table from her, right? So she was trying to like, she would throw questions like me. So like, for example, like she didn't know how old I was. So she was like, so how old are you? And I somehow flipped it into a question like, take a guess. And everyone around the table was kind of like guessing my age, you know. And then they figured it all out. And then like, I guess from that, like I somehow turned into the conversation facilitator at that table. So, you know, like I would throw a statement or a question out there, and it would get the table like so engaged, like the conversation would kind of like go up to like a peak, you know. And then like as it starts dying down, I'll kind of chip in with my 2 cents and kind of throw another question or whatever out there, right? And it's just kept on going over and over and over again for 30 minutes. Everyone's having like a great time. Like by great time, I mean like just absolutely dying, like just laughing their brains off, right? I'm pretty sure you guys have been in situations where like you know you're with friends or you're really whoever, you know you're just having a great time. Like all the jokes are on point. I'm like you can literally say anything and people are still gonna laugh, right? Just kind of like one of those situations, right? And like, yeah, and like I said, like I just somehow like became like the facilitator of that conversation, and it just kept on going and going and going, and it got to the point to where like I kind of got tired of taking it to the climax, like I was having such a great time. I wanted to have a break from having a great time, right? So I kind of like, so I took the conversation to a climax one more time, right? I think, I forgot what the topic was, but I took it to a climax where everyone's like laughing, they're just like on the floor rolling and all that stuff, right? I take it to a climax, and then I say like, "Woo, all right, I'm gonna go down to the basement, kind of see what everyone down there is up to." So I kind of like get up and leave, and I didn't think too much about it. But like I go to the basement. There was a piano down there too. Like so, like I'm just like playing on there with like a few other people. We're just doing like heart and soul duets, just stuff like that, having a good time. I think we played was it like Never Have I Ever in the basement? But like long story short, like we had a great time in the basement with the other half of the group, right? And then it was around I think like 11 o'clock. Like remember I live like an hour away, so I was like, all right, like I'm gonna get going. I live pretty far, but it was like super cool hanging out with you guys. So so after I say bye to the people in the basement, I start back walking upstairs, and I see all the people that are like around the table, right? They were for the most part still there. I think they're playing like some board game. But as I was putting my shoes on, they're like, "Hey, like it's that guy right there, the funny one." And I was like, "I'm not funny," and everyone's like, yeah, heck yeah, you are, man." Like, and it just kind of like they treated me as kind of like this celebrity. And I couldn't really figure it out. But as I was like putting on my shoes and I left, like I kind of saw these same people like at different like functions at church and stuff like that right there, and like even in public as well. And every time they saw me, they're like, "Hey, Deshaun, how's it going?" Kind of like, "Hey, he's the cool guy, like he's the funny one. I want to be around him." And I couldn't really figure that out until I learned about the concept of like never overstaying like your welcome. How kind of how like I guess like just by leaving, people kind of like value you more. And in that situation right there, like I took the conversation to a climax, right? So people already loved me. So when I went away, like they were kind of like they kind of like like the laughter and stuff was still there, but it wasn't at that high climax. And they associated that high climax with me. And when I was gone, like it was almost like like it's almost like a drug user. Like you give them like the drug like every single day, and you take it away from them, right? They're kind of craving it, and they were craving me. So like every time they kind of saw me, like they just kind of like even though I said I wasn't funny, right? In their head, they kind of convinced themselves that I was the funniest guy that ever walked the earth. It was kind of weird, but like I was kind of able to learn this concept just from that party situation, right? And that's kind of, and like I said, like that was the concept of like never overstaying your welcome, and it comes down to basically like supply and demands. Like someone that's like super has like a lot of supply. So in this case right here, you're super available, right? Your demand, your worth, your value kind of goes down. That's just how it is. People really don't value you if you're too available. But if you really like, if you're really hard to get, hard to speak to, hard to reach to, right? People are gonna value your time, and because they value your time, they're gonna like they're just gonna like, I don't want to say treat you like a celebrity, but like just like just give you more respect, and it's just like a nice feeling to have. Like not only do you feel valued, but you also get like kind of like 100% of that other person. So that's one thing I love about like just like not really overstaying your welcome. When you interact with those people again, you kind of get like 100% of them. It's not real like you're talking to them and then they just start pulling out the phone, they're texting their friend or whatever while maintaining the conversation. Like they have like a level of respect for you. So that's one cool thing I kind of noticed from just like never overstaying my welcome. People just valued me more. As far as like applying this, so I'm gonna go over like 3 different areas as far as like how I apply this concept. But the first one is like networking, right? So I love applying this within networking because like I'll be talking to someone, right? We make a good connection, and then like I'll try to keep the conversation between like 5 to 10 minutes. I have the ability to take conversations on for like hours and hours and hours. But the problem with that is on that especially on that first meetup, you know, if you speak for people for like hours and hours and hours, the second time you see them, there's really nothing to talk about, you know. I guess kind of like the mystery is gone, so it kind of gets boring, in a sense, you know. So what I like doing is as far as like networking, I like speaking to someone for like 5 to 10 minutes, kind of like learning about what they do, giving them like a little like sneak peek about what I do, you know. And then I kind of leverage like urgency, so I'll be like, woo wee, all right, I gotta get out of here pretty soon. But like, hey man, like, what's your number? Like, you seem pretty cool to talk to. Let's grab a coffee sometime or whatever. Go to Starbucks or whatever, right? That's kind of how I like applying this concept of like never overstaying your welcome to really not only build a professional connection, but to also kind of like maintain the mystery within like networking, you know. Like same scenario with dating, you know. So let's say I meet a girl like I don't know, you know, like let's say I go to the grocery store, right, and we just she asks for something on the top shelf, I get it for her, right, and then we just start a conversation, right. I'll keep the conversation going for like 3 to 5 minutes, and if there's a spark, you know, I'll be like, hey, you're pretty cool to speak to, like, let's go like I don't know, let's go grab lunch or go bowling or something. I don't know, right? And like I kind of use that to kind of like set up a date. And since the conversation was only like 3 to 5 minutes, she only got a glimpse into me. So there's still like this whole mysterious part that she has to like discover. And that kind of motivates her to show up on a date, you know. If I kind of showed all my cards there at that grocery store, the chances of a flake just goes up just even higher, because like she just didn't there was no excitement involved. You guys get what I'm saying, right? So that's kind of how I apply this within dating. And then like as far as like sales, I kind of like doing this. I like doing this as far as like setting up my I guess like lead qualification. So I'll like speak to someone for like 10 to 15 minutes, kind of qualify them, and I'll be like, yo man, I think you'd be a great fit for this program. I gotta hop on another call in 10 minutes, but like, yo, you got time tomorrow or the next day to speak for like 45 minutes, you know? And kind of just, you know, like, it's kind of like, I guess like, I guess the whole point of that is like, as I schedule them for the next day, that time, I guess like that, you know, like the time between like now and then the strategy session for like the next day or maybe the next 2 or 3 days, right? I like add them to my email list where they see a bunch of like testimonials, and I'm kind of like, I'm building up my trust within them, you know, so that when I hop on that sales call with them, I'm able to really make a great connection. And if it's a good fit, I'll enroll them into my program. So, yeah, that's really how I apply this concept within as far as like sales. But like I said, like this never overstay your welcome, like it's super valuable. You know, like I said, it's like supply and demand. As far as like availability, if you're too available, people are not gonna value your time. But if you're I guess like your time and attention is super scarce, people are gonna value you more, and it's just it just makes life so much better, you know. People kind of give you like they're 100%, and they're just like they just value you, you know. So yeah, that's it for this video. Hopefully you guys got a lot of value out of it. Don't forget to hit that like and subscribe button, and I'll see you guys in the next one. See ya.